know it is. What's up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of A Cadillac on Mars. You got me, Chaufie, hosting on the scene. Got my buddy Devlin Cox with me, and then got a super special guest, my homie, my main dude, the most Latin person you'll ever meet in your life, the elusive man, Los. What's up, man?
I think you exaggerate on the super special. We got a guest here.
Nah, man.
Someone is here.
Los is the homie.
Says the guy who just had me on his show. You know, so it's one of those things.
That was like 2 months ago.
Yeah, I do have to dog out Delvin a little bit though. How much effort do you put into editing your show? Because I could hear you clearly. I could not hear Beardy and Los like at all. The audio was like way fucking imbalanced. So I would turn it up. I was constantly turning it up and turning it down because then it would be like Delvin screaming in my face and then Los and Beardy like, yeah, so let's talk about the thing right now. I was like, what the fuck are these guys saying?
All I gotta say is, look at the people who I'm recording with. That answers the question.
Oh, okay.
Professionals.
Blame it on the monkeys.
No.
It was your show. Like
No. That's not how that works. Also, if I remember correctly, when I recorded that, I had the fucked up computer, and I never set it so I can edit everybody's tracks. So my mic sounded great because I adjusted my mic before I came on. Los and Beardy sound like Los and Beardy.
Yeah. So what I think what Delvin is saying is he's got no respect for you and Beardy.
Yeah.
Well,
so,
that's clearly.
I mean, well, we're
gonna
ever
hide that. you know who mic sounded good? You know who audio sounded perfect?
You're wrong.
No, Stan Bush. That's who audio sounded perfect.
Anyways,
come Halloween, we're gonna see where it's gonna go.
Exactly. Are we gonna link up with Elaine again? That shit was so much fun.
Yeah, we have to. It's like we don't have a choice anymore.
I need to have Elaine on my podcast just because I love Elaine.
Have you not had her on yet?
The last time I had her on was years ago.
Mm-hmm. Well,
years, like when I first met her.
I had Elaine twice on my show. I'm just saying. I don't know. I mean,
Elaine's a saint. She's amazing.
So you got now that she's blown up, you might have talked to like management or something.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I don't want to ask her, because she's so busy doing that whole podcast that's doing very well, clearly because of Elaine.
Yeah.
Let's call a spade a spade.
Yeah, she's crushing it. She's doing a great job over there.
I remember I told her, I was like, because before she started that show, I had already got on and asked her if she wanted to come on my podcast. Mm-hmm. So when she blew up and she made that show worldwide success, mm-hmm. I told her, I was like, don't forget, the little people who you already made promises to, and mm-hmm. That's how I rang her into my show.
The little people, and then
she moved your email to spam.
Yeah.
You were like, you are no longer allowed to send to this recipient. You're like, oh fuck, it happened. Mm-hmm. But anyways, Los, man, let's talk about you. What have you been up to, man? What's new with you? Kind of talk about yourself to the people. Like, who are you? What do you do? Like, let's get into unpacking Los.
All right. My name is Los, and I'm very elusive.
This motherfucker. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm I've been around. I have my own show. I was on another show before. I guess specifics, whatever. Okay. I'm the host of The Talking Place. I used to co-host The Future Monkeys. And that's where a lot of people probably know me from. Other than that, it's basically just doing the dad thing and, stay at home father, and I'm a domestic engineer. That's pretty much how I like to label myself. It's it's hard to really sit here and talk about myself, because I don't like to toot my own horn a lot. But it's I don't know. I mean, I know there's a lot of people out there that don't know who I am on your show, the people that listen to you. So
I find that hard to believe.
It's
it's pretty much one very small circle. You're in it.
Yeah. Like I think
you got reach. What are you talking about?
Before game we don't play ended, I was fired from that show. You on episode talk about ice cream.
Yeah. Yeah, he was very, very sexually talking about ice cream. He called us from the store, left us a voicemail.
Yes, I remember that.
It was one of the most nonsensical things I've ever heard in my life. Then you said, during that same episode, you said somebody may be following you while you were getting ice cream.
Yes. Yeah. I remember that. now. Okay. Yeah.
That was definitely a moment in time where we were like, oh, man, he's about to get me too'd.
Over some
on some ice cream, man.
Some rocky road. It was for the Rockies road.
Right, exactly. Ooh, man. Nope. No thanks.
But you see that's whenever, like, especially with Delvin, like I think I was telling Beardy the last time we were on the show the other month, 2 months ago, whatever it was. I always feel like I have this level of expected stupid that I'm supposed to be, because I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna be straight up. I'm not always this dumb, I think it's a persona, I try and lean into it a little bit sometimes, maybe, but it's something that just comes out. I like to be dumb, I like to be stupid, I like to make people laugh.
I feel like I have different relationships with different people. Like me and Chaufie, kind of like we have a brother relationship. Like we're brothers that's the same age.
Yeah. So
we could talk shit about the younger brothers. And I feel like you, Los, and Joy Craig, for that matter, all the younger brothers who are always doing dumb shit. We're like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
We have to stop doing that.
Thank you for calling me a younger brother. I was expecting a distant cousin. Like, that's what I was wanting to hear from you.
No, you're like I said, you're in the small circle. You hit the brother realm. And I will say this too, though, as much as we will cut up and talk shit and probably make fun of you, because you will say something. Yeah. I do want to highlight you in a positive way, though, too, because you do bring a lot of interesting stuff to the table. Because Los is more than just like you said, the stay-at-home dad. Amazing at like baking, cooking.
Yes.
Really good writer.
Yes.
Things I want to talk about. Like I want to talk about your Lego lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk Disney. Also want to talk about also the same, like talking about like raising kids at home, like being at home with your boys and your daughter. Also, is your daughter ever going to grow hair? Like those things I want to talk about. Because I'm like, how's your wife got a bow business, but your daughter don't got hair? Like,
that's a good point.
She's getting there. I
saw your Instagram today.
Yeah.
So where do you want to start, Los? Which of those topics would you like to jump into?
I don't know. I mean, we could go with Lego. I mean, that seems like it'll be something pretty quick.
Okay. No, we could take a lot of time, man. Wow, thanks for killing the subject right out the gate.
Well,
I build shit. Next.
All right. Yeah. Well, I forget that you get into some sets too. So I
dabble here and there.
Exactly.
But like just from seeing like through like your social media and stuff like that, like it looks like it's become very much a like a family event. It looks like your kids are like in it as well. So take me back to like early Los. Like, have you always been building stuff Lego wise, or was it something that like you got older, you got money, and now you can buy things?
Yeah, that's where it's at. It's when I was younger. Oh my God, my wife just texted me. She just a little sidetrack. I don't know if you remember Chaufie. When we said we were going to do this, we were talking about my wife getting on here and sharing a certain story. Yeah, so that's what she just texted me about. So
did she want to come and talk about it real quick?
I don't know. She's over there trying to get the baby to go to sleep.
All right, well, tell her, there's an open seat. We got to hear these stories if she just wants to hop on.
Yeah, I'll mute my mic and everything. I will shut the fuck up.
Yes,
let that happen.
She will have all the attention. Also, because she doesn't hop on any episodes, though I have actually talked to Los's wife many times.
Yep,
she's the homie.
We've had plenty of talks, over future vacations and family talking and all this stuff. But
exactly.
But anyway, okay. So back in the day, I never was into Lego. I just got into it. Probably it was like the 2010s that I got into it.
Okay.
It was Father's Day, I think. That was like the first time I got like a actual set for me. And it was, before I was all about Connects. Remember Connects?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I did. That's what I was into. I used to do Connects a lot. And I remember actually for a project in school, I built like a really huge windmill. And then I wondered why nobody thought I was cool.
Yeah. And also I think everybody who has Connects just builds windmills.
Yeah.
I was not surprised when you said that. I was like, that's what you built.
I was gonna say Connects are for nerds.
Yeah, that's a different level. That's where people kind of go like, "Oh, you're autistic."
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, no shade to autistic people,
Yeah,
it is. That's what it is. But
I used to love Connect. Like, I don't know what it was. I don't think it was the smell because they had a smell to them. I don't know if that was just me, but it was. It was. Yeah, I could, just thinking about it, I could smell the Connects.
No, I don't want to think about it.
But what do they smell like? Plastic?
Yeah, it's really, really strong, like chemical plastic.
Oh, you like getting high? You like huffing?
Yeah, that explains a lot. That explains an awful lot.
Right.
Oh man. All right. So that was what I was into. I never got into it. I missed all like the early sets that I could have gotten into. And just now as an adult, I got into it. And it's a way to channel like a lot of the other things that I love, like Marvel, Harry Potter, Star Wars, all the different franchises and stuff like that. It's like a really cool way for me to like focus in on something and feel like I'm doing something productive,
because it's right up there on the level of like how like people build puzzles.
Yes.
Like there's something you focus on it, it's a little therapeutic and it has like a completion. It's not just this ongoing where you're just doing like infinite amounts of like crossword puzzles and Sudoku and stuff like that. It's like you build the thing and now you have it.
You got there.
But it's always like it always feels like in the end, like after I've built the thing, then I'm always like, well, what the fuck do I do with this? Like
that's
rad.
That is
what am I gonna do?
That is a huge issue. Like I don't know if I've shared. I think I shared it not too long ago. It's my pile of shame for Lego. Like I have my closet. Like it's just like the top shelf. It looks like a mini Lego store. It's just like boxes and boxes like that I would get on sale or that I would get for like a holiday or birthday or something. And I just like I would be able to find time. Like I found time recently to build a whole bunch, but it's the space that really, really gets it, because I don't have, many places to put it here, and I told my wife like a few years ago that I'm not gonna torture her and like have a whole bunch of nerd shelves all over the house, and she's recently telling me like just forget about it, just put up whatever I want and then put whatever I want anywhere and all that stuff. So I'm pretty
sure that your wife like already knows what it is and pretty much accepts you for who you are. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, just get the stupid ass shelves. You made a fucking chimney out of cardboard boxes. Like, go ahead.
You remember that? Oh man. That's my crowning achievement. I'm so proud of that still.
Oh, man, that was a good one. You need to tweet that out or post
you
it again.
You may need to elaborate on that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There are multiple reasons why I say elaborate on that. One, because I don't know if you guys know this, but when you usually make a chimney, smoke and fire goes through chimneys. And cardboard is not a good conductor of smoke or fire.
Well, you got to think of it in terms of Lego, in the sense that, like, you can make a chimney out of Lego. Don't mean you're fucking like putting smoke or fire out of it.
But then again, this is loads we're talking about.
So it might quite possibly.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard about the time that I almost set the neighborhood on fire, but that's another story.
Well, no. It's not another story for another day. It's another story.
We got time.
Right.
This is you said it. Now. We're talking about it. Okay, so we're gonna put a pause on everything. How did you almost set the neighborhood on fire? Where was this? If you don't know, based on all this nonsense that Los is saying, you already know he lives in Florida, just right off the top.
Yes.
But you are born in New York?
Oh, I was born and raised in the Bronx.
Oh man, him and DC's and Merrill hanging out, huh? So you could also figure too, he's probably some like Puerto Rican ass like person. So
yeah. I'll tape anything together and call it a thing,
like a chimney,
right?
Yeah, exactly.
So how did you almost set the neighborhood on fire?
All right, so this is a story people in my group, my community, they've heard a few times. Mm-hmm. It's one of those never gets old stories. Okay. So it was a couple of summers ago, probably about 2 years ago.
Oh, so you were a full adult?
Yeah.
Okay, not 12.
Oh, that doesn't make it better. That makes it in fact worse.
Yes. Okay. Go ahead.
That means you know better.
Yeah, I should have known better. So it was all right. It was summer, and I was in the grilling mood, So I got out the charcoal grill, which I hardly ever use, and I had recently bought one of those chimney, the metal cylinder,
like the starters, like you put the kindling on the bottom, the paper on top, or whatever.
Yep. Yeah. So I got one of those, and I figured out how to use it and everything like that. And just to set the mood, Florida, it was a very dry time.
Okay.
And it hadn't rained for a while. So it was very, very easy for things to start up. So that was just to set the ambiance for it.
Okay.
I put the charcoal in there, got it going. It started to smoke up pretty good. And it caught fire, and a really good fire for like really quick. So I was like, okay, let me figure out how to get this into the actual charcoal grill.
Don't you just pour it?
Yeah, but also on top of it being very dry, it was very windy.
Okay. So you just got embers everywhere.
Yes. So I went to go pour the charcoal into the grill, and it was just a huge gust of wind, just took so much like flaming embers and just let them fly all throughout my neighbors' yards.
Oh fuck.
And that was basically my reaction. And my first gut reaction, can you guess what my first gut reaction was?
Not my fault.
No. Oh, that was the second one. No.
Okay.
my first gut reaction, for some reason, was to call Beardy. And
not your wife, not the fire department, not get the kids out of here.
In the vicinity who can help you.
Yeah. No, I called a guy in Chicago. That's right. Yeah. So
I am perplexed by this by multiple reasons. Multiple reasons. So I'm perplexed by this, but continue.
So I call Beardy because the reasoning behind calling him, it was because I knew he worked with one of these before. And I was in a panic. Like I had no idea like what to do. So I just called him. I was like, look, this is going on. This is happening. I don't know what to do. And he's just like, he pauses and he's like, I have company over. I'm trying to get things done here for something, and I cannot help you. And like he basically like
this is so funny on so many different levels.
He was like, I don't know what to do.
Down the fucking neighborhood. He's like, I can't help you. I don't want to be a part of this phone call.
Right, seriously. He's like, I don't want to be a part of your arsonist plan.
and I was like, all right, fine. I hung up and like that's when it clicked. I was like, okay, let me go and get the water turned on and start I'm just there like for the next 5 minutes. I'm there with a long ass hose spraying other neighbors' yards. And like I could just imagine what it looks like if you're driving by, and I got a huge fire in my driveway, like just blazing out of the barbecue. And then I'm there with a hose in somebody else's yard, just like wetting it all over the grass. Like, like I'm
my God.
So
is this all while wearing socks with sandals?
I think I was. I wanted to know.
My God.
Yeah, that's
your feet should have caught on fire for that bullshit.
So is that why Future Monkeys ended for like the 5th time?
Probably.
He was like, boundaries.
Yeah,
we need to talk about boundaries.
I have several questions about this. Okay. One, so you lit the coals, then put them in the grill?
It's like a separate device.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's like a
I've never seen this before.
Imagine, like a beer mug.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Right? But like giant, where it's maybe like like a foot tall, maybe?
Yeah. And it's made of metal.
And what you do is you put like paper and like charcoal in it, and it like lights it, like it gets it to the proper temperature like really fast. And then you open up the grill and you throw, like you pour it into the little barbecue like pit.
I've never seen this before, and I will never use it based off of the way Loaf just used it. I would never want to use it at all.
I will say though, it works amazingly.
I'm quite sure it did, because you almost burn down your whole damn neighborhood.
Right. No, yeah, no shit, huh? Not only did he set his fucking pit on fire, he set 2 houses on fire. So that shit works.
Yeah.
You want to get a fire going, guess what? Buy one of those fucking chimney ass shits. Oh, you'll burn some things.
Yeah, I haven't used it since.
He went back to propane. He's like,
Yeah.
never mind. No, is that the reason, or did your neighbors come and take the pit? They were like, never again. You are not allowed.
That's what the wife told me. She was like, I'm not doing that no more.
They put fucking sanctions on you. They're like, you are no longer allowed.
Did your neighbor look at that grass like, wow, these damn fire patches in my grass, these burn marks.
Looking like LeBron James' hairline over here.
All these patches in the grass.
Goddamn, Lowe's.
Lowe's looking like the dude from the meme from the battle rap. He's drinking the cup.
Did you finish cooking that day?
Yeah, I finished. Yeah, I was able. No, actually, the funny thing was I started using the grill after that, but there was so much commotion. The coal got like cold by the time I finished, so I had to finish everything in the oven because it didn't.
Only back to square one.
Yeah.
You know who Los reminds me of? Fucking Launchpad McQuack. Just everything he does, he just completely fucks it up, and it just somehow just works out.
Yeah. In the end, he's like, I flipped it to this. Because I will say this, like I've had a lot of conversations with Los, like via text, like actual, like over the phone, like verbally. His intention, he's always very well intended. Like when you hear the beginning, boil it down, he just wanted to grill. Okay,
like Lunchpad.
He just wanted to do the simple thing, and then I'll get a text that's like, "Yo." And when I get a single yo from Los, I'm about to hear some shit.
Yeah, sounds accurate.
And they'll be like, "Yo, what are you doing?" and before I respond to him, so what's happening on my end, Los, is I go, "This motherfucker." Okay. And then he leads into, remember when I was gonna? Do you remember when I talked about? Did I ever tell you? And then I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
But it's always like with the best intention. He's like, I was just trying to fucking wash clothes. And I'm like, yeah, you were. But something happened. But I don't know, Los, you are a unique character, to say the least. Now, let's bring it backwards. So the chimney. Why did you build the chimney? There was a reason. I know there was a reason behind it.
Yeah, because it was Christmas, and we never had we always love Christmas time, decorating for Christmas, and we had a fireplace mantle kind of thing. We had that once in the apartment we had when we moved to North Carolina, like the first time. So we wanted that, we always wanted that, and we always looked for those electric fireplaces, the nice little build up things. They were always too expensive at the time. We got one now, we just got one last year. But at the time, for a while we always looked, and it was always expensive. So Christmas was coming up, and I was throwing out some boxes from like a TV we got and some other boxes that were there, and I just like had this brainstorm idea. Like I was like I'm gonna try this out, I'm gonna do this, and I put them together, and the shape was like perfect, and I was like, hell yeah, this is happening. So I started taping everything together, and I went to Michael's, and I got some wrapping paper that was like designed as bricks, like red bricks. And
Los went in. Like he was like, "Oh, this is gonna look like a fucking fireplace."
Yeah, I posted it on Instagram. I just texted it to you guys. So there all the pictures are there, like the construction of it and everything. And I'm still like, I'm super proud of it. Like I can't get rid of it. It's torn up. The dog freaking tore the paper. So it's like, it's been in the garage. I can't get rid of it. Like it's it's too much invested, like emotionally, in there.
And if you look at, it's really amazing. Like I'll definitely have to post it like as like when the show comes up.
Yeah,
because like it's the little things too. Like the fact that this fool like did like some little charcoal inside of it to make it look like it had burned. Like those really went in. Like I mean,
it's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Delvin. No smart remark. No nothing.
No, it looks great. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it right now.
Los, don't set it up. He'll find a reason. Don't worry.
I will.
Don't worry. All right. So one thing though, I want to dip back into the Lego conversation. Do you ever use that site where like you can like buy and sell used sets?
Yes. Bricklink.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think Bricklink is a big one. There's another one. I haven't used it yet, but a buddy of mine. I have one Lego focused episode for my show. It's the earlier ones. I only have 12 episodes.
Yeah, I was about to say. And that'll lead us to our next topic too. Yeah. He's got
But
12 episodes. Fucking podcast has been around for 4 years.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But he put me on to Rebrickable. That was one of them, and the one that I've used.
I don't know. He used something, and now that he's on like his son's Chromebook, I can't hear shit.
Yeah. I think Los is dead.
That's it.
Well, that was anticlimactic.
Wow. He used some brickable, and then he was like, well, that's a wrap.
Yeah.
He did say he didn't want to talk about it for very long. So
yeah. Well, damn. He guess he showed us.
he really stayed true to form. He's like, shit, I told you fuckers, you get 10 minutes of talking about Legos, I'm moving on. I don't know. He really fucking, he's there,
Yeah.
not there. Oh, now he's completely gone.
Now he's completely gone. Yeah.
Lost him. Shit. Anyways, well, let's jump into you, Delvin. What have you been up to, man?
Let me go and touch on that a little bit since you mentioned it. I never did Legos before,
Uh-huh.
but I used to make model cars when I was a kid.
Shit, word?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the funny thing about it is, one of my favorite ones I made, this is how long ago it was and how dumb I was as a kid, was the General Lee.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, no one told me.
Well, you know what? I mean, that was like Dukes of Hazzard was the shit back in the day. Like,
Yeah.
you can't fault the car. The General Lee's like, that's an ill vehicle. That bitch was jumping all over the place.
Yeah, I had the lunchbox,
Mhm.
and I had I made the model car. I made the model car of that. I made a model helicopter of Airwolf.
Mhm.
I had one of Knight Rider. That was my thing. I didn't like Legos or nothing like that, but I bought a lot of model cars and airplanes and stuff and made the hell out of those and played them.
I used to get really heavy into model cars too, and I would buy, but I would always mod them, you know. So like,
That's cool.
if I was doing, I had a uncle who would like give me tips and stuff like that, and so like if I was doing like a '64 Impala, like I was getting like candy paints, or I was buying like the gold foil, you know. So then
that's smart.
So then I could like trim it up, or I'd buy I'd buy like the mini Daytons. And so it was just like I would drop the back. He showed me a way that like if you sort of like with fishing wire, it would make like the suspension be like so you can sort of hop it. It was so cool, man. So I would just fuck around with those. I actually thought about getting back into like doing a model car here and there, but it's kind of like on the Lego topic. And what the fuck do I do with it?
Yeah.
You know? Like,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you ever build model cars, Los?
I never did model cars. I know when I was growing up, my father, he had a model sail boat, like sail ship, like a huge ship. It was like probably 2.5, 3 feet long.
Oh, I've seen those big motherfuckers. Those are crazy.
He never finished it.
Because those things are like obnoxious. When you finally get the sails on and everything, you're like, oh, this is too big.
Yeah.
Like this is like,
and it's like there was so many. I remember so many tiny little pieces. Like it was like ridiculous. It's no wonder why he never finished it. You know, but he tried.
Because you finish one of those and then you realize that you now have a fucking model boat that's the size of a medium Labrador. You're like,
Yeah.
You can't. It's like you can put it on any old shelf. You're
Yeah,
like,
I know.
well, okay. Let's strap some M80s to this bitch. Like that's what we're doing. So let's talk a little bit about podcasting too, because you mentioned earlier, you know, you have your show, The Talking Place. You got about 12 episodes, and it's been a show that's been going on for a while. And I kind of appreciate the fact that it does come and go because, like when I think about like podcasting and stuff like that, sometimes it's very easy to lose sight as to like why people do their show. And so it's like, you end up doing it because you got to meet the schedule. You do it because you don't want to lose the listeners or whatever. But when I really think about like why I record, it's to like fuck around with friends or talk to people that I'm like super interested in. So when you do start posting episodes, it's because I know that you wanted to talk to that person.
Mhm.
And then when you take a break, it's because you got shit going on in your life, you know? And so I wanted to just kind of talk about one to say, like, I think I'm glad that you work on your schedule and not just like giving kind of bullshit content because you got to come out every other week or every month or whatever. You know, you just do it when you're like, oh, I think I'm ready to talk now, you know? So just wanted to kind of get into that. Like, what is your schedule like? Like, why do you like podcast sort of intermittently? And where do you see like your show going?
Well, first of all, like there's no like I'm not gonna like whatever I'm gonna say, it's not gonna be to offend like the hardcore podcasters like Delvin over here. Like, he
Right. Delvin, who does like way too much content. Like, you need to relax.
Yes.
It's a very, very respectable what you do, Delvin. And I say that because, like I said, like Chaufie says, so long I've been going on with the show, and here I am 12 episodes in. It's hard, it's a difficult thing to keep up with for me. And it's something that I tried. I've been trying for years, for years and years, back from with the Future Monkeys. We've been trying to keep something going on a weekly basis, because the thing that you hear all the time, the number one rule for podcasting is to keep it consistent.
Mm-hmm.
To keep it going every week. If you don't do it every week, you're going to lose listeners, or you're going to get people not interested anymore, or whatever like that. And I wish I could say that I'm doing this to break the mold and to be cool and to prove that wrong. But it's just the way life is. I mean, it's something that I can't control, because I tried to do the weekly thing with Future Monkeys so many times, and it was always a headache. It was always a pain to try and get it done. And I tried more recently with the Talking Place. Like, I took a long break, and I put out, like, what was it, maybe 6 or 7 shows at first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you were like snapping them out.
Yeah, and that was my plan originally. Before I even went live with the announcement that the show was going to happen, I had already recorded like four or 5 shows.
Mm-hmm.
So I know me, so that's why I did that. So I had them ready to go every week, and once that went away, and once I was working week to week, like, it started getting harder and harder. So I took a long break, and then I came back, and I was like, I want to do this, because it's always comes back to that. I want to do this.
Yeah.
I want to do it because what you said, I want to sit down. I want to talk to people. I like to talk to people. I like to, get stories out, and it's something that I really enjoy doing. So I wanted to come back. I wanted to do it. I found some new people to talk to. I had, a few other podcasters on, had Elaine on,
mm-hmm.
And then it was between Elaine's 2 shows, because I did two with her. I split it up. It was between her 2 shows that I just lost grip of everything. Like, I couldn't do that anymore, because I was already going probably like 4 weeks straight of recording the show, editing, posting, then the next day recording the new one, editing, posting, and then the kids with their school, and keeping up with that, making sure everything is good, making sure we have family time, making sure we're doing, all the stuff that we got to do normally, and it's just like, I felt like I was doing nothing but the show, and that's what I didn't want.
And it makes it a little like, I at least like saying for myself, like, sometimes you do sort of resent podcasting a little because of what you're saying, where it's just like, fuck, okay, I got to record this thing or I got to schedule it, because it's not just recording. Like I love the conversation. I love hanging out with you guys and talking to people. Like it feels great. And then I got to edit this bitch.
Yes. Oh,
and then I got to like post it and then share it so people know that a new episode. And I'm just like, God, I fucking hate that part. That part sucks.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm also not like in it for the money or anything where I'm like, oh man, I want to be able to hand this file over to the editor. The editor can take care of it. I'm just like, it's just fucking around. Like, I'm glad when I look at the numbers that I get, they're not out of this world. I'm not competing with like your major podcasts and shit like that. But when I see like triple digits, I'm like, okay, like that's exciting. Like, okay, people are listening, like, yeah, maybe a small group of people, but when we talk about like social media and people I talk to in general, it's maybe like 10 dudes. So that means that beyond the 10 people, there's like a couple hundred more that are listening that I'm like, I don't know who you are. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for listening. Like, it's super awesome. Like, reach out sometime and just be like, I listen, I like the show, or you guys, I hate listen to your show. Like, okay, that's fine too. But it's just a trip when that happens, because it's like, you don't know who's like building on the back end. But like I was saying though, on the opposite was just like, it's the process. The process is the challenge. And then when it's like how Liz is saying, like, fuck, I could be hanging out with my wife. I could be, doing something for work or whatever. Like there are other more adult responsibilities I could be doing, but instead
building
instead I'm over here fucking around with my friends, but it's kind of like a give and take thing too, but it's just, but I think when you do it because you want to talk to people, I'd rather have that, because there are some weekly podcasts that I listen to that I have to skip weeks because I'm like, yeah, you should probably take a week off. You should probably take 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
Because you're not saying anything new. You're just regurgitating everything I read on IGN or all that tweet thread that I was already in, that I'm like, it's not new content. Like,
yeah, I was doing that for a while. Like it was like I want to say maybe 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half, something like that. I was listening to so many podcasts. Like, it was a lot. And that's all I did. Like, for a long time, I couldn't even remember like listening to music. Like it was podcasts all the time. And it's just like over the past year, I stopped. Like I can't, like I just can't listen anymore. I like there's 3 or 4 shows now that I listen to like when they come out.
I mean, it's interesting because I haven't seen a subscription from the Elusive Man. So, I mean, that's cool. Maybe you'll probably listen to this one and then subscribe, but it's really interesting. You say that.
I will say this in terms of that. I designed my show, speaking for myself at least, like a talk show, like Jay Leno or Arsenio, where you don't have to catch every episode. You kind of just can see the guests like, okay, I want to see what this person got to say. Just like talk shows. Like when I watch a talk show, I don't watch every episode of the talk show.
Yeah.
I kind of say, hey, Chris Evans is on tonight. Let me see what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, this person's on tonight. Let me see who he's talking about. I think that's the cool thing about podcasting and doing what I do, at least. That I don't mind if people skip episodes. I just want people to listen. You don't have to listen to every week. It'd be cool if you did. Don't get me wrong, but I prefer you listen to the ones that you want to listen to and then go back and find the little hidden gems of things that you may not know that's there.
Yeah. And I think that's what Los does too on his show that I appreciate, is that he usually has the people he has on are for a purpose.
Yeah.
Like when he's talking to someone about like the Lego, or I know you've had Matt from Bad Fodder Figures on a couple times. And it was like talking like grilling and barbecuing and shit like that. Like you have people on for a purpose or to like highlight what they do, as opposed to just like, you know, like I said, the same regurgitation of like game news or sports news or whatever that is, where it's just like, man, I already heard all this shit. Like, I don't need to hear it again. But when you highlight a person and a topic, like that's more interesting to me, or at least where I am now, you know?
Yeah, that's what I've wanted to do for a long time. When I was doing Feature Monkeys, I loved doing Feature Monkeys, you know, like for everything that it was. When I was doing it, I also, like, before I even started Feature Monkeys, I had my blog, you know, and my blog was for a very, very long time. It was just a food blog, you know, recipes and all that stuff. So, you know, when I was doing Feature Monkeys, I wanted to have a podcast for my blog. So I wanted to like have interview type shows with other food bloggers, other people that I've worked with, you know, like, you know, I partnered with Wilton. I don't know if you know Wilton.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that too. And I was like, how did that work out? Like partnering with Wilton, like how did you get connected?
It was through my stuff that I was putting out. My blog was out there, and it got seen by somebody, the whatever person that Wilton. I'm still cool with her. I still follow her around.
Mr. or Mrs. Wilton.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask, who is Wilton?
Okay, so if you go to like if you go to Michael's, or if you go to like they're like a big like what we say, like baking needs decorating, and accessories and stuff like that. So like if you needed to buy like fondant, or you needed a certain type of like rolling piece, or
food
cutters, coloring, it's a giant, like it would be like when you think of like cake mix, you go Duncan Hines, Pillsbury, right? Yes. But when you think of like decorating and accessories, it's Wilton.
Yeah,
like they're a big name.
It's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Okay.
So they found me through my blog, and they liked what I was doing, and they liked that I was me, you know, stay-at-home father doing it, you know, and all that stuff. So they were starting this program where they gathered up like a dozen or so influencers, like bloggers, YouTubers, and all that.
Easy influencer shit. I didn't know you were on that level. Wow, Kim Kardashian, fucking relax.
So
Los Kardashian.
Right, he's got them cheeks though, so you know he is.
I'm just gonna brush it off, whatever. But you know, so they got a whole bunch, and they would send us everything that we needed for whatever we were doing. Like they send us like a mystery box full of stuff. They would be like, you know, do whatever you want with this, you know, give us it was a contract. I think it was 10 blog posts throughout a year.
Okay.
They gave me a quarterly check for it.
Damn, nice.
And it was like a fun thing. Like it was something that came into my lap like probably a year or two after I started blogging, and it was like the highlight basically, because nothing else happened after that. Like I got featured with Pillsbury, I think, once.
Really?
Yeah, I think.
Did they actually use a picture of you?
No.
Did you meet the Pillsbury Doughboy?
No, I wanted to so bad. Oh my god!
You didn't get the poke your stomach or anything like that?
No.
That's disappointing.
I did go to Wilton headquarters though.
That's really cool.
I went up there. So it was up in Chicago. That's when, living in North Carolina, we drove to Chicago, and they took care of a hotel and everything, and it was like a big meetup kind of thing that they had going on. It was really cool. Really.
Now,
really cool.
Are you still baking?
No, I'm not. It's.
I noticed you go through like phases, like in the story of like the grilling. I do remember that. That was probably like 2018.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, maybe about 2018. Yeah, probably about 2018. And you were grilling the fuck out of things like nonstop. And then I noticed you get into like pastries or so do you find yourself like going into like waves of things and then hopping on or
Yeah, I mean it's whatever is calling for the moment, you know. The grilling came from having a grill and like having a clean garage where I could get to the grill and grill, you know.
Wait, so, are you grilling in the garage?
No, but the grill is.
I was about to say that's not legal.
I was like, what the fuck?
That is not legal.
No, don't do that.
Don't do that. Oh my God.
I wheel it out into the driveway. That's where I go. It's like
what in the redneck? You grill in the driveway?
Yeah, sounds about right.
Anyone listening to this, do you grill in your driveway? Because this is a thing. I always thought you grilled like in your backyard, like on a balcony if you have one. You grill it in the driveway? Like that's
you know what? I will say this. Anytime you watch those corny ass TV shows where they're like doing Americana, the white family's always grilling in the driveway. I don't know what the fuck for.
Oh, fuck, I've never noticed that.
Yeah. They're always like in the front of the house grilling, and then the neighbor walks over. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Like, that shit doesn't happen for real.
What? I'm tripping now. You guys got me fucked up. I'm like, I need to do some Googling and really pay attention to like the commercials on Food Network because I'm like, people really be putting their grill on the driveway and like this is where
I wouldn't. That's just gross.
Right. It's also really sloped. So your grill's looking like angled.
Sloped. Then you got all these fucking, like, you stay in the city, all these fucking car exhausts passing by.
Right, exactly. You got random ass neighbors trying to cop a burger off of you? No.
Yeah. Burger tastes like gasoline.
Right. Plus, Los has texted me pictures of like in front of his house where he's like, hey, look at this big snake.
Yeah.
As this fool gets closer to take closer pictures of the snake. I'm like, that shit's like 6 feet long, man. Like, what are you doing?
That's a no-go for me, dog.
No, nope. Mm-mm.
Yeah, we got those big ass cranes too that they're like 4.
Oh, that's right, you do. Yeah. Like he's got nature at his house. Like this fucker's not playing, man.
Yeah, not for me.
So what's been your sort of cooking fixation lately, if there is one?
Crack.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. I mean,
roasting fools on the internet.
Oh man, I gotta roast somebody. I just if you found did you see the Discord last night? It blew up. I got pissed.
I haven't. You know what? I haven't logged into Discord in a really long time, just because it's like I've told people in the past, like Discord feels like double Dutch. Like the conversations are like really fast and like it's like when do I jump in? When do I jump in? And then I'm just like I don't got the my knees aren't the same. I'm not jumping in.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah. I gotta roast somebody.
All right.
I just found out last night that there is a new podcast that put out their first episode last Friday called The Talking Place.
What?
So that's gonna be fun.
Is it somebody you know?
No, it sounds like 2 teenage girls being pretty.
Ooh, someone needs to get that cease and desist letter.
Yeah. Send that letter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta figure out how to work that, but but nothing else is going on here. It's like I would still like I don't even know if I would still be like cooking for the blog. Like no, because there's sometimes I do things like I'll make like new cookies or a new pastry or something like that, like something cool that I'll think I'll be like, wow, this would be cool, put it on the blog. But it's the things that kill it for me is my kitchen is very unphotogenic. It's not the way, because most of my food blog days happen in North Carolina, and it was a brand new kitchen, and it was perfect natural light.
Mm-hmm.
So the pictures came out amazing. So that's like the main thing that I loved about it. So every kitchen after that, since I moved here, it's just been crappy.
Like it doesn't compete or
it's
compare.
Like, yeah. So like the pictures would have to be like crazy edited, and it'll have to be it won't be the same. So that's what killed the food blog part of my thing. That's why I don't do that anymore. So other than that, like, just cooking for the family or whatever, is just whatever we have time for. Like this, like shit evolves, like back then when I was doing it on the regular, I had time, I had one young kid, and then, I had the two that they were two under 3 kids, under 3 years old. So it was easier to plan, like, a good dinner, a good thing, to take the time to post about it, take pictures and all that crap, but now I got 3 of them, 2 of them are freaking crazy big, growing every day, so it's hard to even think about regular food to cook for dinner. Most of the time we go out to eat because it's like easier, and we got stuff to do. We would have to go to the post office. My wife has a business now, so we're constantly mailing stuff around, so it's like cooking is like very, very sporadic.
It's like no pun intended, it's like on the back burner.
Yes. Yeah, very, very much so, but
now how old are your kids now?
Sorry, I had to cough. I didn't have to think about how old
I was like,
one of them just turned 8, and the other one turned 11 a few months ago.
Okay.
And then the baby's a little over a year.
Okay. Yeah. So then yours, because I know yours are like similar age to mine, so they're just a year behind. Whereas I have 12 and 9, you have 11 and 8. So yeah, similar range. Yeah, but seeing, like I said, seeing pictures you posted recently, I'm like, oh yeah, they look like they're in the same like age range type of thing.
Yeah.
Now
I went crazy posting the other day.
I know you've been going wild lately. Like, before we get into, because your blog topic really leads into the what's up with that topic, and we'll come back to it. Yeah. I do want to talk about because you've been going like Instagram crazy. I just went to Disneyland on Saturday and got to go to like the whole Star Wars area and ride the rides. And so seeing your pictures from like Florida, it's kind of a trip because of like how similar the two environments are, that it's like, damn, they really did just like copy and paste. But it's fucking rad when you walk in and you actually see a whole ass like Millennium Falcon in front of you. Yeah. That shit is crazy. It's so nuts, So are you guys have back to passes over there, or is it still individual tickets? Like, what's going on?
We have the passes still. I know you guys don't, right?
Right. Yeah, they're like revamping them into something else.
Yeah. So we still, they never did anything to them here. We've always had them. They stopped selling them back when the pandemic like hit, when stuff was really hitting the fan. They stopped selling them, and this was before they shut down. It was I think a few months into the thing, like they stopped selling it for anybody who wanted them. Nobody could get them if you wanted it. And we actually canceled them.
Oh, did you?
Because we were going to be paying on them, and we weren't going to be going.
Oh, so they didn't do like hey, we'll just pause it for now and resume later.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, we didn't want to chance anything, and we didn't want to do all that, so we just canceled them to save some money. But then a few months later, like we were like, I think it was after they shut down a little bit, and then they opened back up with a whole like heavy guidelines on what we're going to be doing, and all that stuff. And it felt like safer than what it was before. So we went to customer service in Disney Springs, and we were like, "Hey, we did this," and then they actually have like a program of people who recently canceled that they
it's like the regretful cancel.
Yes.
Like, oh yeah, go over here, window 3.
Yeah, so we did that. That's so we got them back, and it sucks. It sucks so bad because we are still, me and my wife are vaccinated. We are still scared, for so many different reasons, because we have the two kids who are not of age to get vaccinated yet.
Right.
We have the baby who's a baby, duh. And me.
Not duh baby.
No.
You live with the baby?
He does.
The baby. Yeah. So, and then we got me who, like, just.
It's a baby.
Who just got rid of cancer last year, so it's very susceptible here.
Yeah.
So we've been very careful trying to take care of stuff, and all the stuff, everything like literally opened overnight.
Yeah.
Florida just said fuck it. What virus?
Here we go.
So that's basically what it was.
Very accurate.
Yeah, and it's really neat, but like kind of along the same line. Let me go into this, like, kind of what you're saying is kind of what we felt too, as like we were going into it. I was conflicted with like people's terms on first with like California, where they're like, oh, you guys are super restricted. We're like, no, you can still go everywhere. Like, you just got to wear a mask. Like, that's pretty much the main thing. You want to go to the store, go to the store. You want to go to the restaurant, go to the restaurant. You just got to eat outside, or you got to take out. And then, we got to the point where you can sit inside. But people think like California was like, we're just in the house like all day long. It's like, no, we're not. Like, don't be stupid. But then like going to Disney, but with our own family, we were like, our kids have been, online schooling this whole time, not really hanging out with people and stuff like that. Like, they've just been home. And so going to Disneyland was like, we went like 0 to 60, just like boom. Where it's like, okay, we're in crowds now. Like, here we go. Like, we merged onto the freeway from like a country road. We're just like, oh shit, get up to speed. But I will say that I felt like there's still reduced capacity, and that felt great. And I think that people were like very respectful of each other's space. Plus, you're at Disneyland, so you're not really concerned about other people as you are like, let's get to that ride. So it's not like people were really up in your business. And then it was like sanitizing stations all over the place. It was like everything was really well balanced, because like we kind of counted up the rides that we went on, and I think we covered about 20 rides.
Nice.
In the day we were there. Now, in times when we usually go when it's full capacity, like my wife and I were talking today, like if you got on 8 rides, that was an amazing day.
Yeah.
That was like, this is phenomenal. I mean, we did everything, because at first it was like the hours were 9 to 9, and we got in a little bit early, and they let us ride stuff early on. So we were like, oh, cool. And we were like, damn, by 9 o'clock, like we're probably not going to get on everything. But by 7 p.m., we were like, I mean, we could go home now. Like we did everything we wanted to, and not like we were bored, but just like if we had to leave right now, we would be good, But we got to do a bunch of shit, and it was just like, and then getting to do both of the Star Wars themes rides, that was really awesome. Like we had a ton of fun on, and I know I can't remember like the names of any of them, but like the Millennium Falcon ride, that shit was a lot of fun. Because it's like, it's Star Tours to like the next level, because you get to interact with it. Like one person, like, so you sit in 3 rows of 2. And so the person in the front on the left controls, up and down, and the person on the right controls left and right. So you actually move the vehicle, and then you have the 2 sitting behind who manage the weapons on like the left and right side of the Millennium Falcon. And then it was just the 4 of us, because the person who was going to go with us like their baby or their child was too small, and they would have been the engineer. So I don't know what a fucking engineer does, but is that how it's set up for in Florida?
Oh yeah. I think exactly like you said. Galaxy's Edge, all the Star Wars stuff, that's all copy and paste. I think.
Now, what do the engineers do?
I know that there's gunners, pilots, the engineers. I want to say the engineers. There's a part where you are harpooning cargo.
Okay. Yes.
It's part of the mission that you're doing or whatever. I think they take care of the harpooning and that kind of stuff. So I don't know. Delvin, do you know anything about this ride?
No, I have not yet been on that ride yet.
It's awesome.
It's not, you're not actually, it's a screen. It's like think about in an arcade, you know, those like
we used to sit in the cockpit back in the days, you know?
Yeah, like all the theme park rides they have now. I want to say
yeah. They're all like
it's just a screen. Mm-hmm. So it's no movement.
It's moving.
The vehicle, it's like, have you been on Star Tours?
No.
Okay. So yeah, I'm trying to think of like
you've been to Universal, you know.
Yes, I just came from Universal a month ago.
Yeah. It's kind of like where you sit in a room and the room moves and shit.
So that's like the Simpsons ride then, I take it.
Yeah, very much like the Simpsons ride. Yes.
Okay, there we go.
Though I will say this, my one main critique on that ride is they did not invest in like Xbox or PlayStation graphics or even PC. Like I was like, you did this on an N64. Like this is not the sharpest. And at one point it did do a little bit of like clipping where I was like, ooh boy. So that my son and I did laugh at that.
3 out of 5.
Yeah. But the other one though, the was it Rise of the Resistance? That fucking ride is crazy.
That's the one based off of the new movies, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, without giving away much, what I liked about this ride is that it is in phases. Like it's not just like where you get on a ride and then you're like, okay, get on the little car and do the ride and now you get off. It's like you go from one location and then there's an event. And then you go to another location and then you're like when the doors open and you see all the fucking stormtroopers, that shit is like you are on the Death Star. You are on a destroyer ship. Like you're like, oh, I'm not here. You know, like it's crazy. And then you're still not on the ride. Like then there's still another section where then the ride happens. And it's like, this is like, I told my wife, at least for us at, you know, in Disneyland out here in California, it felt like the first time I had gone on the Indiana Jones ride. Like Indiana Jones, when it was new, that was very innovative because it was a lot of movement, a lot of action. It was way immersive. It was just different, you know, because the actual car moved. And I told her, I said, this ride feels like the first time I did that. And I can see that if more rides go this route, like we are now like in a new generation of rides. And I was like, it's fucking cool. The animatronics are amazing. And even the effects, like there's one point where like Kylo Ren's saber like comes through the ceiling and like cuts. And I'm like, I need to like find videos on how they did that because it broke my fucking brain because I'm like, it's animated, yet somehow that hole is real. Like I can't figure it out. Like it fucked me up. I was like, I've since I saw it, I've still been sitting here like, so maybe the hole was there and it's that the animation was covering the hole. Like I'm fucked up.
You just wrote it, right? That's what you said. You just
yeah. Just this Saturday. Yeah.
I wrote it for the first time a few weeks ago. And like you talking about it, like it's getting me so like giddy. Like it like seriously, like it blew me away. Like everything you just said, like seeing the stormtroopers and walking through and everything like about like the way the ride took you, like it just shoved everything in your like you're basically like riding underneath AT-ATs.
Yeah.
You know,
That too. Yeah. When you're riding under them, it's like, oh my
holy
God.
crap. It
It really was like the first moment
yeah.
of feeling like I'm in the Star Wars universe.
Yes, you
Like,
are there, and
mhm.
it's freaking amazing. And Delvin, this isn't no screen. This is like an actual. You're moving
Yeah.
through a lot.
That's pretty cool.
And it's not flat. It's not linear either. It's crazy. So if you get the opportunity to go to like Disney World out there, or even if you're coming to California to do Disneyland, that ride is like, it's definitely, if that's the one you do for the day, then you're good. But that fucking ride is tight.
They're very in character too. Like when you're on the Star Destroyer, it's very very Empire. They're treating you like
they're stoic,
huge dicks. They're
well, because you're the rebellion, so they're like, we got you, you know.
So like,
but even all around, like even with the environment, with just like the stores that are all around, like they did an amazing job. Like for that, I'm looking forward to like going back to that area again. And then I guess I'll kind of get into like some of the stuff on my end before we get into our topic, or what's up with that is I hate to do this because every week I'm still gonna say it. Fuck Mike Fowler. I said it.
Yeah.
This week, this dude came in super clutch.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys remember my whole FedEx debacle, right? Fucking FedEx lost. I ordered a PS5 for my son. Had it. They lost it. Told me it was considered delivered, even though they delivered it to a different house on a different street.
Yes.
And even told me the street. I was like, that's not delivered to me, like, because it didn't go to where it went. So last week he hit me up, and because I think we talked about this before, or at least he and I had talked about, like, he gets like some of those like PlayStation like emails and stuff like that because he gets a lot of platinums and trophy hunts and shit like that. So he got a direct email that was like, hey, we're going to be selling PS5s. You can get this exclusive real quick. So he was like, do you still need one? And I was really successful early on getting PlayStations. And then when I really needed one, I can't fucking cop one. Like, just, it was not working anymore. And so he hit me up. He's like, I think we can do it. So then we set it up. Boom, like nothing. He came through. We got a PS5 for my son. He'll be getting it for his birthday. And we came down to the wire because this fool's birthday is 4th of July. Like, we're talking, it's this weekend, So I was like, oh, fuck, like we came through. So then it was the stress of like, is it gonna arrive on time, so it was like coordinating where I'm like, oh fuck, okay, who's gonna be home? And my wife is like, well, I gotta take our daughter to camp at this time and this time. And I'm like, god damn it, that's when that fucking UPS is gonna show up. And like, man.
It's not FedEx.
No, hell no. But never again. And but so I was home when they pulled up, and I saw the guy get off the truck, and I was like, yes. So, but it was funny because I had already talked to my son, and because he said the one thing he wants for his birthday is a PS5. And so I told him, I was like, listen, dude, we talked like a couple weeks ago, and I was like, here's what happened. I go, do you remember when I knocked on all those doors and I was looking for that package from FedEx? And he was like, yeah. I was like, that was your PS5. I go, you have to understand, I have been trying. And I go, if you want something, I'm going to do my best to get it for you. And I had it. I go, they lost it. And I don't know, like, what I can do. I go, I've been trying and trying and trying. I go, so you probably, more than likely, you're not going to have one for your birthday. And if I ever get one, you'll get one. I go, so, might be now, might be Christmas. Like, I don't know when it's going to happen, but I will keep doing my best to try to get one. And then it was like a couple of days after that conversation was when Mike hit me up, and he was like, let's see if it fucking works. So we ended up making work. So as far as my son knows right now, he's not getting one. But I was just like, damn, this is so shout out to Mike though, for really coming through, kind of making this work for my son. And yeah, we got it. It's here. So I was like, that's fucking tight. But still, fuck
Mike Fowler's a good dude. He's a good dude.
But fuck him.
Yeah, fuck.
No, but he genuinely is. So I just wanted to say though, like, shout out to him, and especially like, it's nice to have people around you who are like, hey, I think I can come through on something, like that always is a good feeling, because I do, as much as like we fuck around and we kind of talk shit and stuff like that, like we do try to help each other out when we can help each other out. And so when those opportunities arise where it's like, okay, I can come through for you, we try to do that. So yeah, that was really tight. So I'm glad he made that happen. So we'll see how excited Gavin gets. Oh, and then I did want to talk about too was so before like pandemic, before COVID, my son had been talking about wanting to go to Disneyland, and my wife and I kind of tossed around the idea about getting like season passes again, because we were like, fuck it, we're doing a little bit better, maybe we can kind of get them. And then everything went to shit, and so we didn't get to do it. And my son likes to watch the I think it's called like TPM vids, like theme park videos.
Yes, yeah.
And they're actually really interesting videos, because they'll break down the ride and like the Easter eggs and like all kinds of crazy shit. So he watches those a ton. And so on Friday, we surprised him and we gave him this little like box and some stuff in there. And he was like, "What's this?" We're like, "It's kind of just like an early birthday gift." And he's like, "Oh, it's like some weird ass Disney shit. Like, what do I want this for?" And then like it was very like it wasn't clicking. So my wife was like, "You got to look at the paper." And so then when he opened it, like he grabbed his face, and then like at first it seemed like he was really upset. We were like, "Oh, fucking preteen, like he's gonna lose his shit." And then he like started crying, and we were like, "What's wrong?" And he's like, "I'm just so happy. Like I didn't think we were gonna do this, and I wanted to do this for so long." And it was a very like emotional moment, and it was just like, and to kind of bring this whole like worried about the pandemic and health and everything that's been going on, to finally have those moments of like, hey, we're starting to see some normal life again, and so to give him that opportunity to like get to go back to Disneyland and have fun, it was a really huge thing. But yeah, this fool started crying. It was a lot to him. So it's just like, this is really awesome. Really cool.
Yeah. That's always the best. You always strive for the moments like that. We always we always, as parents, like that's what we try to aim for, so it's always awesome to hear that like that.
And when it pays off, it's like, it's kind of nice. And then and at that too, he was like, if this is the only gift I get, then this is all I want. Whereas I'm like, hold up. There's more. Like, you just be ready. So yeah, he should be hyped, because so we got the Disney thing. I got him his PlayStation. I also got him the Xbox headset, like the new one.
Astro something?
No, not the Astros. It's like the official like Xbox.
The official ones, yeah.
Yeah, because those, if I've read correctly, they do like a dual Bluetooth. So like you can do the game and be like on your device at the same time.
Okay.
Because right now, like he'll be chatting with like his friends while he's playing Sea of Thieves, and then on another like voice party with like an earbud in. And I'm like, why don't you guys all just use like a Discord or something else? And he's like, oh, these friends don't like those friends. So he's like literally having two separate fucking conversations at the same time. I'm just like, oh, you're schizophrenic. And then he's been working his way through the Call of Duty games. And so I think he's down to like, he hasn't played Black Ops 1 or 2. The Treyarch games are the ones he's missing. So I got him World at War, and then there's like a Black Ops pack that's like 1, 2, and 3 all on one disc. So we got him those, and so he should be pretty hyped. I think
he's just doing the campaigns for all of them.
Yeah. Oh. He really enjoys the campaigns. And World at War is one we've talked about, because that's like actually like my favorite all time.
Isn't that that's the one with Kiefer Sutherland?
I don't remember which one is Kiefer Sutherland.
I think it was one of those.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I do know he was in one of them.
Yeah,
and then he was, because that was when he was also like Solid Snake. So Anyways, yeah. So I think he'll have a pretty good birthday. Sorry for all the ambulances right now. I don't know what the fuck happened. Anyways, let's get into Los's topic that he brought up today. That probably isn't going to go in his favor, but
no.
We're going to have a what's up with that topic. Los, kick it off.
Ooh-wee. What up with that? What up with that? Ooh-wee. What up with that? What up with that? He said, she said, we said, Lee said, what up with that?
All right. What's up with all you motherfuckers that complain when you're looking for a recipe online and you got to go through somebody's backstory before you get to the fucking recipe? Where do you think? You think the world is your oyster? You just sitting there like, I want to make a chocolate chip cookie. Let me go find a recipe. You think you're just gonna fucking get it? Go buy a fucking cookbook if you want to get that straight up in your face. You know, you're gonna go look on a blog. You get somebody's words. You're gonna get their life story. If they want to talk to you about how to make chocolate chips and how to get the cocoa out of the cocoa bean, then that's what you're gonna fucking read. You know, just shut the fuck up and do it.
So here's what I'm going to tell you you're wrong. Because what's up with motherfuckers like writing a whole ass blog when I just want to know how long I need to put these chicken wings in the air fryer? That's all I want to know. I just want to know what's the temp and how long. I don't want to know about your grandma who had arthritis and how these chicken wings bring tear to your eyes. And then the first time you made them, like you set your front yard on fire. And then after that, there was a fucking rattlesnake going down the street. No, I just want to know how long and what time and temp. That's all I need to know.
This
I don't
sounds
need to know all that
vaguely
shit.
familiar. I can't put my finger on it.
So it's like, I hear what you're saying. I do. Because it's like some of these recipes, I'll give it to them. Like, I think it's about the art of writing. I do like Los's blog posts. Like when going through his and seeing what he's done and seeing what he's put together, I have to say Los is a good writer. Like I appreciate it. There's a style to it. It's compelling. Like it makes sense. Some of these motherfuckers are just saying wild nonsense and don't know how to stay on topic. Where all of a sudden they're talking about like their W-2s and like when they were like in the fucking second grade play, and I'm like,
important stuff.
I'm like, what does this have to do with how to make a Cobb salad? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, all of a sudden the blog is like a goddamn therapy session. I don't care. I do not care. This has nothing to do with how to make homemade fish sticks. I'm not concerned. I'm not at all. Unless you're going to tell me about like, buy this fish because it's from like a sustainable thing, or these cook better than that one, and you learn from your fucking Puerto Rican grandma who showed you that bacalao does whatever. I don't know. Like, keep it on topic. But when you start fucking talking about all some other ass random ass shit, I don't need. Also, I do not need 16 paragraphs of blog post. And then way at the end, so cook it at 350 for 20 minutes. Wait, what? Wait, what? And I got to go through the whole blog and fucking highlight where they told me like 2 teaspoons of salt. So when I first got married, the wedding was great. And then, oh, by the way, you're going to need like a 1/4 cup of flour. And so then we got a divorce. And then, so it was just me and my dog. And then, you need a cup of panko breadcrumb. I'm like, I got to fucking go through this whole thing and decipher, like, where is the recipe? Stop it. Stop it, you fucking writers.
What stops me from having to deal with any of that bullshit?
What's that?
Alexa, How do you make mac and cheese?
There you go.
That solved that problem completely.
No, you know what? You're wrong now. What's up with Delvin using Alexa to cook? She's gonna give you some fucking white people mac and cheese where she's like, open up the craft dinner package, add water. You're like, not even milk? No.
Yeah. That's what you do.
So on both ends, respect the writer for sure. And then on the other end, be a respectable writer. That would be really nice. Like that would be fantastic if you.
Or just ask Alexa.
Craft.
All that.
Look, to my defense, I learned my mistakes. Okay, like when I first started, right, when I was doing everything, starting fresh with the blog and everything, I really took to heart like all the writing in it and all this stuff. You know, it was my journal. You know, it was my thing, my life. You know, all that. So I purposefully, I went in and I like I didn't highlight the recipe, like, you know, because nowadays you got a nice recipe box where it's like all highlighted and it's like very separate. Like, you know, you could click on the link and it'll take you to the recipe by itself, you know.
I guess you don't want to tell us about this fucking recipe.
Used to like you just said, I used to pepper it. Oh, it froze up a little bit. I didn't know. I didn't know. Hung up on me or something.
No, yeah.
So yeah, it was something that I realized that it wasn't like good. And I started to change my ways a little bit, but then it was probably like a year after that. That's when everybody started complaining about it. And that's when I started seeing like people creating code, like, you know, writing code that would extract the recipe from blog posts, you know, to make it.
Damn, I didn't know it was like that deep.
Yeah, people get mad.
That's funny.
Yeah, like that's where like I want to learn some fucking HTML so I can read this bitch. Oh man, that's next level petty right there.
That's fucked up. Somebody's pouring their heart out in the blog, writing all this shit. You like, fuck all that shit, bitch.
Yeah.
Let me just get to what I need to get to by any means necessary.
Seriously.
It's a community. You know, everybody has their communities, right? Like gamers have their communities.
Yeah.
You know, all that. There's a food blog community.
Yeah.
You know, and it was up in arms. You know, when people were complaining about
Wilton gang losing their shit, they're like, "Wilton blog, bitch, you better read the blog, not the recipe."
Yeah, it was like a revolution was happening. It was crazy, but if there's one thing, like I told you, I got a 2-for-1 for you when it comes to recipes and shit. The other what's up with that I have would be the people that comment on your recipe. And they're like, oh my God, I loved it. It was amazing. All I did was change it to this and I added this and I didn't care. But then, you know, I added my own thing that I have here but it came out perfect, you know?
Like, you're like, oh, then you didn't do my recipe.
Yeah.
You just did what the fuck you want to do.
Yeah.
So you're just going to be just blatantly disrespectful, right?
Yeah.
Just the habitual line stuff I see.
Exactly. They're like, I loved your mac and cheese recipe. And so what I did was I went to the freezer aisle and then I got the Stouffer's box. And then I just did the same thing, but put chopped pieces of bacon in. So it's like the same. Thanks for your help. Be like, that's not what I did. This was actually a quiche recipe. Thanks. That's fucking funny. Now, do we have a guest in the house?
Yeah, I'm getting her.
Oh, you sound disappointed. You said that.
Now, what was it? What was it that sparked this? I forgot what it was because I know we were talking about something, and I want to say it was like the idea of me and her doing a podcast. And like I always bring it up to her. I always tease her and stuff. Like, come on, let's record something. Let's put a show out. It'll be great. She never wants to do it. But
I think if you are not a member of like the Future Monkeys Discord, then you have not experienced the ultimate roaster, who is Mrs. Los. Like, she has no problem. You think like we throw him under the bus? No, we're light work. Like, she roasts him, turn him, put him on a spit. Like, it's and no shame in it at all. And we'll just call him out left and right. So we always used to be like, you guys need to have like a podcast. Like, we need to hear you two going at it. And she was always like, I'm not going to do it. So knowing that she's open to the opportunity of putting her voice on, I am very excited, because there are topics and stories and things that we don't know that she can share.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's stuff that it's perfect now, because it's nothing that I would want on my show.
Yes, and the statute of limitations is already surpassed. So.
Right, exactly.
Hold on, let me go see.
A text is full like 10 minutes ago. Go get your wife.
I'm looking at the text right now. Go get your wife.
Yeah. About 10 minutes, right? This motherfucker, man. Very on brand. Very on brand for Los. She doesn't come back and be like, I ain't doing that shit. Talking to these clowns.
I'm looking at all the places from Galaxy's Edge. This place looks really cool.
I'm telling you, dude, it's amazing. Like, that, they really put in some like awesome work, and it's like out of this world.
Very impressive.
Yeah. You get the chance to do it, I highly recommend it.
Yeah, I'll probably supposed to do later on this year, probably.
Yeah.
After I go to all these events I'm planning on going to this year.
I mean, you ain't going nowhere. Stop lying.
I'm going a lot of places. Just locally.
Yeah. I'm going to Walmart, going to Target to buy my meats.
Yeah, facts.
I can't believe it, man. Can't believe you stooped to that level. I'm gonna ask Los that too. Be like, how do you feel about getting fucking meat from Target?
Well, if Los said he got me from Target, I'd be disappointed. Like, Los is a fucking chef.
He also said he grilled in the driveway, so there is that.
I expect higher things from Los when it comes to that.
Nah, I keep the bar mid-level.
Yeah.
And that's not for him. That's for all you guys.
Yeah.
We talking about entertaining? Like, what is that? Like, is whenever somebody comes over, like, family or whatever like that, and they're gonna have a meal, I want to go crazy. Like, everything built up inside, like the cook, the chef, all that.
Yeah.
It's like it wants to come out, and it wants to,
You want to shine.
Full spread and everything. And then the wife is like, no, we're just gonna get a plate of like cheese and pepperoni.
You're like, no, wait, what about prosciutto? What about like the candied almonds? And like, damn, that's fucked up. She's like, you're gonna buy 3 packs of Lunchables. Spread them out.
Put parsley, chop some parsley.
Wait, seriously, you're like, these don't even go together. She's like, I don't give a shit. All right, did you get her? Where's she at?
She's sleeping.
Dang, she didn't come through.
No.
Damn.
I thought about waking her up, but that probably won't.
That would not be a good idea.
No,
yeah. You're probably better off for that. You are probably better off for that. But we'll get her. Well, we'll make it happen at some point. Now we're on a mission. Now we got a goal where she's got to come through at some point.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys are you guys, now that stuff is kind of normalizing again and opening up, are you toying around with the idea of trying to come out here to California?
Well, that was original. That was like we were supposed to have our trip to get out there. I think
this past December, right?
Yes. Yeah. That was when we were supposed to go. And
And then the flip side is Los and his wife did a great job of talking me and my wife out of going to Florida. They're like, yeah, you don't want to be out here.
Yeah.
No, that's not how it went. We were telling you everything and all that stuff, and it accidentally came out as a warning. Like,
As a warning.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. So once we heard everything about Florida, where they were just like, yeah, there's like one good week in Florida. The rest are either cold or humid or rainy. And I was like,
that's not all the way true. It's because Los lives in fucking Orlando.
well, that's what I was about to say. He's in Orlando, whereas you are in Miami.
Yeah, where it's only like hot as fuck all the time. Then you have a week of rain, and that's it. It gets back to being hot.
Yeah, it's a different gig. Now, but anyway, so are you guys still? Is that still something you guys would like to do or plan to do?
We want to do something. Like, I don't know when we'll be able to. I mean, once everything like really calms down and there's like, you know, a normal and, you know, there's everything's behind us, then
There
that's
isn't like the triple Delta virus.
yeah exactly. You know, it's always something, you know. So once everything is like in the books and, you know, life is, you know, the way it was and all that, then we're going to start looking and stuff. But right now it's like, we got the passes for Disney.
Yeah.
And a few weeks ago, we got the passes for Universal back.
Oh,
like
nice.
we didn't have those for like a year or two. And we got them like just before Delvin went. And I texted Delvin and I was, because I think I heard on his show or something, or your show, that he was coming down here. And I was like, oh shit. And when we got there, I was like, wait, I think Delvin was supposed to be here. And I texted him and he had just left or something. Is that what it was?
That is correct.
Yeah.
You went the week after me, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
There you go.
Poor planning. Yeah, but you guys could have met up like at a Denny's or something and been like, hey, let's meet up for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That actually would have worked perfectly.
Missed opportunity.
So close.
Missed opportunity.
So yeah, we got the passes for everything, and we haven't gone because, you know, Florida freaking opened up and told everybody you don't have to wear a mask. So hearing you describe California, it sounds like that's the way Florida was like a month ago.
Yeah, okay. Florida's just wild.
All careful and all like, you know, all that stuff. But now it's like whatever.
And you can kind of see it's like where, because everything was like what June 15th for us was like the big transition day. And like a couple days after, you could see like everyone was still like masks. And now I feel like the ratio now is tipping to like more people without masks than people with masks. Like, you know, it's kind of like it just like is going back to like how it was before. I really liked a lot of the limited capacities. You know, even going into the store, because it was like, okay, now I don't have to fucking fight with people. I actually love wearing a mask because the motherfuckers don't talk to me. So that shit's tight. Like for me, I was like, this pandemic's great. I'm gonna fuck with people. Like, this is awesome.
You know, it's oh man, like everything opening up and going back to a normal, it made me realize something that I never like agreed with before. That maybe Thanos was onto something.
Yeah, I've been saying that.
Yep. I mean, it's not wrong. You know, I mean, yes, it's wrong, but
no, it's not.
But when you really break it down, it's like, yeah, you get 50% less of the people. It's not so bad.
It was nice going out and driving around and no traffic. And
I mean, like I've mentioned it here multiple times. Like my commute to work, if what I used to consider a good day was 45 minutes, like one way. I'm now getting there in 20 to 25. And so like, that's a big difference. Now on average, it was at least an hour 15.
That's
so
crazy.
I was driving like less than 20 miles an hour to get 20 miles away. You know, so there are definitely some like positives in all of this. Like I think that there were like one, I think getting to spend more time with the people you want to, like you had to be more intentional, you know, so you got to be around them. And then just like appreciating the things that you can do, or like how much things have changed, where it's just like, you know, I actually kind of like it this way a little more, you know?
Yeah.
So there are some positives in this whole situation. But yeah, you're also not wrong. I think with a nice little snap. I just wouldn't want to be one of those people that turned all ashy. Like, that's not me. Delvin is ashy, but that's different. That's a whole different gig. That's a whole different gig.
Man.
Well, before we wrap up, Los, let the people know where they can find you and what you've been up to, or what's coming up with you.
I am at the Talking Place. That's the podcast. That's where you could search up and find me there. Make sure that it's the proper looking professional logo and not the one that you would probably find now if you search for it.
Yeah, you want the one with like the neon sign.
Yeah, the neon sign. There you go. The one with 12 episodes.
Yes.
So I am also the Elusive Man on Twitter. I don't know who cares about that. I don't know about you, but my social media has been very, very lax.
Yeah, mine's really gone down a lot lately too.
Yeah. I don't know if it's just an age thing or a time thing or whatever. It's just been you know, I used to focus on getting through my timeline all the time, and it's like now it's barely checking anything. That's why you got that whole big dump on Instagram, because I was my phone storage was full, so I had a whole bunch of pictures that I've been meaning to post that I didn't. So yeah, you can find me there, the Elusive Man, with a 1 instead of a I. Yeah, I think that's the only difference.
Yes.
So yeah, themanthechefthedad.com. That's my blog that I've been referencing to this episode. And yeah, I don't think, I mean, I got a few ideas that I want to do for shows in the future. I mean, seeing this new podcast pop up with my name and stealing that, it lit a fire under my ass last night. I was like all excited, like wanting to record and get stuff out there. So I've been having like ideas in my head on things to do and people to have on and everything. You know, like you said, I like to have a purpose with the episode. So yeah, I want to try and get some people on there and
because I know we're going to work on having one soon, and then and I want to say there's like possibly 2 lost episodes that we've done.
Yeah, that's right. You know, I still have that. I still have the
but thing. I know it was like the audio was like choppy. It was like
bad. Yeah, we tried to get together once, and I think you were in a car going to work or something.
Yeah, you know how Delvin knows how I do. I always record in the car.
That's a fact.
Yeah. But yeah, hopefully, you know, I'll keep on going. My wife, she gives me crap a lot of the time, but she's the one that's like basically making me keep the podcast. I think I would have quit it a few times already. Like I've just been over it. So she's got it going still, so I could just have it there for whenever I want to throw something on.
And I think it's good to just have that outlet. You know, to have if you want to talk, you talk. If you don't, you know, you get back to it when you get to it. But at least you have that opportunity to kind of share some stories.
Yeah.
And then Delvin, what about you, man? What's going on in the Delvin Cox experience and the whole deal there?
Well, depending when this episode comes out, knowing you'll probably come out soon.
It always on the 1st, man. It's the 1st of the month.
So a big guest was on the podcast. By the time this comes out, Stan Bush, legendary rock star, wrote the song "You Got the Touch" from Transformers the movie. Dare.
That must have been huge for you, man. Because that's like your favorite movie.
Yeah, it was a big moment for me, and moment I'll never forget, honestly, like just having somebody who was involved in that movie and a soundtrack that just played such a pivotal part of my childhood. It was amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. That's really good. Maybe I'll listen. No, that's good though. I'm happy for you, man. How did you make that work out?
A friend of mine who has a podcast, he had a connection with him and said, "Hey, just message him and see if he'll come on." And he agreed to come on.
Fuck, that's cool. That's cool. When's that one? That one dropping? Thursday?
This Thursday, yeah.
Okay, nice, man. That's good. And then the Patreon wise, like we got some shows going on there.
Yeah, so tell me, just go check out all those. Those are coming up. A lot of stuff going on. You know, D&D podcast I do with my son is always interesting. There's a lot of cool stuff on Patreon I'm doing, man. Just if you want some content that's a little more unfiltered, all quality content, check out the Patreon.
Yeah. If anything, you really need to listen to the So Tell Me episodes.
Yes, they're fantastic.
Those have been getting some good traction, and those are when I think Delvin and I just have like a mutual therapy session.
Yeah, pretty much.
Good.
I think people are starting to learn that. I probably shouldn't be saying it, but it's kind of true. So Tell Me is probably better than my podcast because
I'm hosting it. Like,
because it's actually about me.
Yeah.
So it's more personal and it's more unfiltered. And it's just, you don't know where the story's going to go.
Yeah. Delvin is definitely layers. This fool is Shrek for sure.
Yeah.
He's an onion.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah. So people check those things out. And then over here on Cadillac, recently did the special episode with Skylar, aka Skywalker. He's been on a couple times when we did Games We Don't Play. He just opened up a skate park because just on the 24th was Go Skate Day. So we talked about renting a skate park, and then just on these off shows, just like to kind of highlight people of interest to me that I want other people to know about. So one thing I've been super into lately is like DJs on Twitch. Like just like, like DJ Tim Hines does his thing. That's the homie there. I'll catch his thing from every now and again. There's a couple DJs out here in LA that just like, I don't know, it's really, really interesting. Like how like people are, I think if you have the right energy. So hoping to reach out or connect with this one DJ. Her name is LA Bellatini. And she puts together sets that are like the music in my head, where it's like old school, like lowrider funk or new wave or just like really obscure. Like, I'm just like, fuck, how do you put this together? Because this is all like my genres, you know what I mean? And those all could be in the same set too. So it's just like, it's really, really awesome. So I'm hoping to have her come on. I'll probably drop that episode maybe like mid-month or something like that. Cause like I said, this won't come on the 1st. And then, just kind of collect some people on the way. But that's whenever one of those comes out, that's when Devlin gets told he was fired again.
That is very accurate. Yes.
So anyways, Los, man, thank you so much for coming on. I always enjoy talking to you. One, I'm glad your health is up. Glad you're getting time to be with your family.
Thank you.
Two, just appreciate getting to get to know you over the years and just getting to talk to you and just kind of building a relationship with you. Like, I think I dialogue with you as much as I dialogue with Delvin too. Like, you two are definitely like my homies along the way. Yeah. So,
likewise.
Thanks, man. Thanks for coming on today. And then,
I appreciate having me on. It's something that it's been a long time to make that, we getting together and talking and finally getting something out and all that. It's one of those.
It's long overdue.
Yeah.
It's one of the relationships that you just want to keep going, So
definitely. Yeah, and if you ever want to come on, you're just like, hey, I want to talk about something. join us, man. Like I said, you know.
Yeah, we gotta do something because my wife fell asleep. So
yeah,
you know,
I need her back.
I was preparing myself for the dirt that she was gonna be shoveling out there on me. So
that's fucked up. I am hurt. I just let her know. Now I have to come back into the Discord because I'm about to talk some shit.
It's like it's something that comes up from time to time too, and it's a really personal story, but it's something that I really don't mind sharing it because it's funny. Yeah, like I said before, like, you know, my stupid ass and does some stupid this was pretty stupid. Like it's so yeah, I think it'll be even funnier if it came from her. So
yeah,
it's
definitely.
Hey Los, you're always welcome on PSXP too, buddy.
Oh shit! No, you didn't. No. Oh boy. What would you want to talk about?
You can end the podcast now.
For Delvin and Los, I'm Chaufie. We out of here. Peace. This motherfucker, man.
What did you say, Grandma? Mama. Mama.
What?
What did you say, Grandma? What did you say?
Grandma's not here.
Grandma's not here. You're not.